Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Number 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'd be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Okay. All are welcome on this channel. All contributions highly appreciated. As you see, I have the divination board out, and we're going to do a one question, one answer. But before we do so, you know that we must do our 2 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hold for 3 seconds and do a direct release from your orifice, your mouth. Okay. All right. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Okay, I'll give you a few moments to think of the question you would like to ask Spirit. Okay, and now we will begin the pendulum. Okay, collective, right away, the consistency that I have here is a September, Virgo, Libra, WX, Friday, yes, Tuesday, EF, okay, Pisces, Aries, and February. Once again, the consistency that I have is September, Virgo, Libra, WX, Friday, yes, Tuesday, EF, Pisces, Aries, and February. So take those answers in account to whatever question that you ask Spirit or the divination board. Okay. And we will tap into the tarot. Okay. Hope you all are doing wonderful. The message that I have is great changes are on the horizon for you, collective. Great changes are on the horizon. But as much as you repetitively may hear this or see it in a title, sometimes you may look and think it's clickbait. Spirit is saying it is not clickbait, that it is all obtainable and possible that you desire. But are you willing to be in assistance to execute the project or the process of living the life that you desire, of fulfilling your dreams, of walking in your purpose, whatever it is for you, collective? So lots of great changes on the horizon, but Spirit wants to know, are you ready to go through the journey or the process in order to attain the life that you desire? Okay. So we have Ankh of Life. We have the key to internal life and spiritual awakening. So possibly Spirit is saying that there's a lot of great changes on the horizon, and some of you, or possibly many of you, will be experiencing some kind of spiritual awakening. We have several moments and events of spiritual awakenings, ascension, elevation, enlightenment throughout our entire life. We don't just have one or two. It happens in cycles, and it happens at different times for different peoples on many different levels. So basically, in order for you to have eternal life and have an understanding of what eternal life is, it's about you knowing who you are and gaining an understanding of how to master yourself and step into your awareness. That is the first step, Spirit is saying. Something about initiation. There's a process of initiation that you must be ready to endure, that you must be ready to put in the work and basically apply yourself where it is necessarily need to be applied, okay? If this means maybe cutting ties with people who no longer serve you for your highest good, habits? Are you willing to do so? It's not about anyone blocking you. It's not someone's in your way. It's not that you're being oppressed. It's something about no longer using excuses or finding different crutches in life for reasons of why you are not happy, you're not fulfilled, or you're not living the life that you desire. Spirit is saying great changes are always on the horizon. They are here now and they're constantly being distributed. I'm seeing like someone passing out blessings, passing out favor, opportunity, information, resources, things you may be looking for. So it's about you doing the work. So also with me saying all that, there's something here about shifting your perception, shifting your mind on how you see things, how you see your life, surrendering with any kind of negative impact that you have experienced in your life, whether you were from a home or an upbringing where you experienced some kind of neglect or mistreatment, being able to like block out, they're saying block out and surrender it, because yes, it did happen. Yes, it was wrong, but you cannot go back there. You're here now in the present. And there's something about you must stay present. Something in order for you to see yourself being successful or landing on your feet at any rate in any level or area of your life, you need to remain present and surrender what was done to you, who hurt you, who harmed you. Yes, it happened. Yes, it was wrong, but we cannot get the past back. So there's something about using what was done to you, or maybe bringing this up in conversation. Maybe you are someone who reminisce on the experiences that you have had in your life or your childhood, and it was painful, it was hurtful. And Spirit is saying, yes, we acknowledge and we know that, but we do not want you, your ancestors collective, do not want you spending your life recanting what was done to you, recanting everyone that hurt you. It's time to change your story. You are the author of your own book here, and they're saying that you have free will, you have the option to change your story. And it's not about ignoring, it's not about pretending or being fake. It's about giving yourself the life that you deserve, the life that you desire, the life you've been hoping for and wishing for. Spirit is saying it is here. But there's something here. I'm picking up on someone who likes to recant everything that was done to them. Someone could ask you how you're doing, and instead of saying, "Oh, I'm having a great day" or "wonderful," you like to tell, "Oh, I got a doctor appointment next week, and they're going to do this and do that." You're someone who's hyper focused on negativity. You're hyper focused on the things that you don't like, or things that'll make people take pity or feel sorry for you. This is the message. You won't be mad. You'll get over it in 1 minute. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. You're no longer mad. You realize that this is just a spiritual message. So there's something about being mindful of whenever people are speaking to you or communicating to you, of constantly recanting negative things, or stress, things that you are stressed about or burdened about, to people in the public, people you don't know. That energy is here. There's someone watching this that does that, or you may know someone collective that does that. They enjoy having people take pity on them, feel sorry for them. And it's making people feel like they want to run away from you when they see you. So this message is being conveyed so you can know that. That's supposed to inspire you to want to stop whining and complaining and giving yourself a pity party. Everyone has something going on in life. Everyone has their own pot of gumbo. We all have situations that may be overwhelming us from time to time. We all have situations that may make us uncomfortable from time to time. But one thing you should not do, especially as an adult, and especially as an adult that wants to see some kind of change in their life, is go around focusing on the negativity. If you have business to handle, Spirit is saying handle your business, but you do not have to go around giving everyone your bad story. What's happening to you, something's wrong with you. It's something about, it's making people want to run away from you, and you don't want to be like, and I'm getting a little boy to cry wolf. You don't want to be one of those people that people fear or don't want to see coming, because they know you're going to come complaining, or you're going to come just being negative in your conversation, pouting, looking sad. Now, Spirit is not saying for you to pretend or ignore what's going on in your life, but there's a need for you to stop giving yourself a pity party. Every time someone asks you how you are doing, you do not need to literally let everyone know all the negative things that you're not comfortable with. is going on in your life. It's not everybody's business, Spirit is saying. You want to be careful with that as well. There are many ways that you can block a blessing. The Spirit is saying you want to be mindful of that. Okay, so don't get offended at the message. This is being channeled to you so that you can find a spark within yourself to just be mindful of not letting everyone know what's going on with you or your business. There's a way to, do the adulting stage of life and be resourceful without pouring out your misery to everyone, pouring out your pain to everyone, because you don't want people to get the wrong idea of who you are. If you are someone who needs counseling, Spirit is saying it's okay to seek counseling, therapy, speak to someone so that you'll have somewhere to go, somewhere that is a safe space where you can release, unwind, and maybe receive some kind of advice on how to maneuver in your life personally. But it's something about they don't want you doing this in your everyday life. It's something about you going around in social environments, whether you know people or not. And it's giving people the wrong impression of you. It's something about people are getting the wrong impression. Everyone goes through things in life, but Spirit is saying they want you to get into the habit of going within prayer, meditation, and handling your business. You have a doctor appointment, go to that doctor appointment, but the whole world doesn't need to know about it. You have a job interview, go to that interview, but the whole world doesn't need to know about it. It's something about, it's something about you giving yourself a pity party. That will keep you in a negative space, low vibrational, and that will push away and block the blessing. They're saying there's many things that can block a blessing. There's many things that can push the momentum away from you. There's many things that can push favor and opportunity out of your life. And so they want you to be mindful of that. I hope I'm explaining that. Okay. So you may be upset, but you'll get over it. Come on. 1, 2, 3, get over it. And we're over it. Okay. So yeah, be mindful of sharing your business with everyone. Okay. We have renewed harvest here. Okay. The goddess of the harvest ensures bountiful crops and abundance. Okay. The goddess of the harvest ensures bountiful crops and abundance. So favor and opportunity is here, but we have to be mindful. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have your moment of silence or sadness or whatever it is. It's okay to grieve if you have to grieve, but staying in that place of pity is coming through so strong. I was going to do something else and they just stopped me and made me put the deck down, telling me to put it back. There's something here, collective, of being mindful of giving yourself a pity party because it will put you in a lower vibrational state. Then that will push away the blessings and the opportunity or the resolutions that you are waiting for. Okay. And then there's also something here about the more that you share what you're going through with people, you don't know what kind of energy people is harvesting or what kind of energy attachments people have. So you have a better outcome in life, doesn't matter what your belief system is, when you don't allow everyone into the blueprint of who you are or your next moves or your plans. It's not about being in fear. It's about being wise. It's about being smart, working smarter, not harder, and not self-inflicting this pain in these moments onto you. And you don't want people to feel like they have to run away from you when they see you coming, and a person may not say it to you, but they're feeling it or they're saying it in the back of their mind. This could be someone that you confide in or someone you consider to be close, but it doesn't mean that they're being bold or rude. It means that they don't want to be burdened with your mess. We all have our own pot of gumbo. And I use gumbo as an analogy because the recipe itself, there's many types of gumbo and you can put whatever you want in it. So we all have our own pot of gumbo. That's why I use that. Everyone is coping and dealing with something, trust me, collective, that they are not happy with or they are not comfortable with. But everyone is not going around, including everyone, in their personal business plans or what needs to be done. Especially when it comes to your health, and we're talking about energy now at this point, You want to be mindful of what you're speaking over yourself. Words are spells. You know, as much as they say this is evil, that is evil. Well, I find it quite hilarious how people cast over themselves on a regular basis, and they do it openly and they do it consistently. And it's not about what you believe in, but you want to be mindful. If you have had a diagnosis or you're concerned about something, go see your physician. You know, pray about it, let it be. But you really want to be mindful of what you're putting in the air and speaking over yourself or putting into the ethers about your health and your well-being. Okay. So once again, it's not about a belief system, and some people, I don't know, this may be you, collective, or you may know someone who gets a joy out of saying that they're ill or there's something wrong with them, and they get a joy out of it because it gets attention drawn to them. The focus is on them. So there are people, I don't know the word for it, who find a satisfaction and a pleasure of being in a pity party state, always talking about what somebody done to them or what they need or something's going to happen to me, because they enjoy the attention that they get from when they share their personal problems or situations that is going on with them, whether it's financial, whether it's in health, no matter what it is, a relationship. They enjoy the attention. It's kind of narcissistic at the same time. And so there are people who live their lives and they intentionally, on purpose, deliberately like to sit up and talk about these things, and they get fuel, they get a rise out of it. They feel like they're really conquering something, talking about ailments and speaking over themselves. They're casting over themselves. They're casting spells over themselves. I have watched it on a daily. I've seen it several times. I don't say nothing, but I see it, I watch it, I hear it, and I'm pretty sure, collective, you've heard some people casting over themselves too. Okay. Uh-huh. So need to be mindful of your words and what you are putting out in the air over your life, your family's life, your children's life. Your well-being is very important. Okay. Pharaoh's vision, a divine insight granted by ancient Egyptian gods. Okay. Pharaoh's vision, a divine insight, is being granted by the ancient Egyptian gods. Okay, so insight is being given. This reading and this message is no coincidence. This is confirmation. This message may pee you off, but hold on, you're going to get over it. 1, 2, 3, you're done. Okay. We have to be able to take constructive criticisms as adults, especially when you're in the adulting stage. Those who are really big kids now, we've been to Toys R Us, we're done with that part of our life. And how can you learn if you cannot take construction? Whew, y'all know what I'm trying to say. How can any of us learn? There are things I have to hear and tolerate myself. None of us are exempt throughout our life at different times. And sometimes we just have to be a listening ear. We may not want to hear it, but what better way could the divine and your ancestors reach you and give you a message? Signs and symbols. Through this message, there is no coincidence that you're here. You're here because you're meant to be here at this time. Welcome into the vortex. You're meant to be here at this time to hear this message. There's something here for you. If this is not your story, there is someone that you know who is going through this. You may have somebody near and dear that you really care about. You have a lot of love for them. You want to see them win. But when you see them pulling in the driveway or you see their number on your phone, you just want to put your head under the cover, close the blind, or turn your phone over. And it's not about being cruel. You're like, look, I have my own life to deal with. How much I can't handle everybody's burden. You can't allow people to pull up, and come to your house or call you, or every time they see you and they're dumping their mess onto you. That can impact any of us. Doesn't matter who you are. It's okay to vent. It's okay to need someone to listen to you. But when someone see you and every time you're just complaining and whining about what you don't like and something that is going your way. That is a pattern and it's happened repetitiously. So if this is a pattern and all you do is complain, that means there's a pattern, sweetheart, that you need to change. And I didn't know that that was going to rhyme, but it did this time. That means that is a pattern that only you can change. So you cannot become angry or upset when someone says, hold on, I love you, but I have a life of my own. I have things that I am trying to manage. I have things I am trying to get through. I cannot allow you to come into my life, in my world, with your burdens, with your toxic energy. You cannot be angry at that. It's about self preservation. No one in this world is going to love you more than you, want you to win more than you, want you to be more successful than you. The true love comes from you. That the true happiness comes from you. And then you can magnetize those things from outside of you through other people, places, and things around you. So the only way to establish happiness and true love from thyself, you have to practice self-preservation. And how do you do that? You don't allow people to constantly dump their mess onto you. I can see a best friend calling you maybe once a week. Hey girl, what happened? You know so and so, so and so, so and so. But come on, there's 7 days in a week. And you reaching out to BFF 8 days of the week. You done created another 24 hours. That's how much dark energy you're saturated in. You know, the complaining thing, the complaining. Find something to be happy about. Starting with when you open your eyes and you realize spirit is still there. Spirit is your breath. Spirit is still there. I'm given another day. Thank you, God. Thank you. I can walk. Thank you, God. I can talk. Thank you, God. I have food to eat. Doesn't matter what it is. Thank you. Thank you for another opportunity. How about calling your friend and just say, hey, how you feeling? Beautiful day. Want to go for a walk? You know, I'm so grateful today. I feel so good today. You have a good day too, friend. That kind of energy, because it's coming up strong that there is someone who cares about you, collective, whether this is your story or someone that you know story. There is someone who really cares about you that you confide in, and they're going through something personally. They may have not shared this with you or told you, but they're going through something. And they have not shared it with you because every time you arrive, it's all about you. This is a very unique reading. This is for someone special. That's what I'm picking up. Has to be very unique, very different, very different. So, Pharaoh's vision, a divine insight granted by ancient Egyptian gods. So, the divine insight is time for you to stop the complaining so you can tap into your divine insight of yourself. So you can learn about mastering yourself and doing the healing work and come out of the lack mentality, come out of the pity party, come out of the storyline and beginning your sentences with what someone has done to you. We all have had something wrong done to us or something we don't like. But it's time to change your story. They really want you to turn the page. I mean, they had me just put the deck down. I was about to do something. They like, no, mm-mm. And I have to follow that. I have to give you the message as it is. Okay. So either way, if this is you watching, take this message into accountability, to work on not complaining. Spirit is saying start with that. It's not nothing deep. You're not hated. You are loved. We are all valuable. We all have purpose. This message does not mean that you're loved any less. It means that you're loved even more. So much more. Like I said, they just had me stop and do something else and stick to this message. They're saying this needs to be heard. There's a lot of complaining going on out there. There's a lot of lack mentality. There's a lot of people casting spells over themselves, both male and female, just speaking negatively. Okay, you at work, you don't like your job. Your boss get on your nerve. Okay, well, going to work and getting off work and spending all of your hours at home speaking about how you don't like your job is not going to make the next day any better. I repeat, you may not like someone or something at your job, but getting off work, punching out means you're done working. Going home and spending your hours at home speaking about the job you have to go to tomorrow will not make your workday any better. If there's a need for you to relocate or seek employment elsewhere, Spirit is saying it's time to do that. This message is about complaining. I guess the title is going to be complaining because they're giving me a whole bunch of downloads of stuff people is complaining about. And it needs to stop. You're blocking. There's a many ways that you can block a blessing. There are many ways that you can push favor and opportunity away from you. There's many ways where you can push money away from you. You know, that job you want, that house, that car, that relationship, you know, that grant you want, that loan you want. There's many ways. Okay, that audition you were looking for. Someone wants to act or model. You know, you want to become famous. There's many ways. They're telling us to start. I said us, see? I even threw myself in the bowl. Stop complaining. And I don't, but they just told me to throw myself in there. That's part of the message. Us. We have to stop complaining. If we could just work on the momentum of stop complaining, that by itself will create a massive change in our life. Then you'll be sending out the signal that you are grateful. So if you're listening and you feel it is nothing, you have free will to do whatever you please. If, I don't believe, you don't have to believe in anything. You have free will to live your life the way you want to. No one can tell you what to do, but you'll keep getting the same results. You'll keep getting the same results, and you'll notice people starting to run away from you. Too much complaining. Even total strangers, when you're out in public, a person don't even have to know you. You don't have to know them. And you may have noticed this or experienced, those prices, I've been in a Dollar Tree and people arguing over a broomstick costing $1.25. I think we get a little bit above and beyond ourselves. I think we are. Anytime you're in a Dollar Tree store and you're mad because a stick that goes to a brush, which will create a broom, costs $1.25, I'm going to say you're ungrateful. You are very ungrateful, and you need to go check yourself. I've actually seen somebody create a moment in the Dollar Tree collective over a stick costing $1.25. The lady said, "Ain't this a B?" She said, "The whole broom used to be $1.25. Now you mean tell me I gotta pay $1.25 for the brush and $1.25 for the broom?" She said, "Well, ain't that a B?" And she took the broom, and the cashier could have got hurt. It wasn't funny. Did I laugh? I probably did. I held my head down though while I laughed. But she took the stick and the broom and threw it down on the converter belt, and it bounced up in the air, and it could have hurt somebody. This lady created a scene over something costing an extra $1.25. We talking about 5 quarters here. And I mean, she created a massive scene, complaining. And then before she walked out the door, she didn't pay for it. She threw it on the belt. It almost hit the cashier in the face, which was bold. The line was super long. Then she turned and looked at us like, "These people crazy." And nobody said nothing. We just looked at her like, "No, you're crazy." We got to stop with the complaining, y'all. We got to stop. We got to stop. And so the moral of that, me sharing that funny story with you about folks complaining over nothing, I'm pretty sure when that lady left that store that her day didn't go well. And I'm pretty sure as she moves forward, she's going to find a lot more things to complain about. I mean, geez, do what you have to do and move on. If you're in a relationship, all that going around, somebody's in a connection and you're ready to leave your spouse. Spirit is saying do that. You don't have to continue sleeping with this person who you treat like they're your enemy anyway, because you need a place to stay, or they make more money than you, or you waiting on some income tax, or you waiting to something hit. If you're not happy in your relationship, do something about it. There's no need to be going around talking about your spouse. I know this reading is going here today. There's no need to be talking about your spouse. There's no need to be talking to your friends about your relationship, and there's no need to be talking to their friends or family about your relationship. If you're that unhappy and you can't keep your business, in your household, well, you need to make that change. Stop the complaining. That's for someone who's in a relationship and they talk so bad and terrible about their spouse. You would say, yeah, they're sleeping with the enemy. Why? Wow. Why do they hate? Why do they hate that person that much? You know? Mm-mm. 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 And I'm picking up on masculine energy. But there's no gender in tarot. Both energies, masculine and feminine, that reside in all of us. Sometimes one outleads the other, and sometimes it's balanced, and sometimes it isn't. But you can change that. That job, that relationship, you can change that. If it's something you want, you go for it. No one is stopping you. Spirit is saying nothing is in your way. You're not oppressed. Nothing is blocking you. Have you tried? How long have you tried? What have you tried? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nuts cosmic embrace, the sky goddess, okay? Envelopes and nurtures all life, okay? So there's an energy present to nurture you in anything that you are desiring. There could be something that you could be saying, yeah, I want to change that, but that's that negative mindset. Don't say but, go for it. This energy, it says nuts cosmic embrace, the sky goddess, okay? Envelops and nurtures all life. So there's a supporting energy here to support you. And no, you're not going to have the layout. Okay, who going to help? How they going to help? What time? What day? Is this the person going to give me the money? Is this the person going to approve me for the apartment? Is it's not going to go that way. Spiritually speaking, it's not going to go that way. But the spirit wants you to trust that there's a higher power working for you on your behalf. You have to trust it, collective. Even if you've never trusted before, you have to do something you've never done if you want to get something you've never had. Mm-hmm. You have to do something you've never done if you want to get something you've never had. That's how that goes. Mm-hmm. Seshat's divine script, the goddess of writing and record keeping, preserves knowledge. The goddess of record keeping preserves knowledge. Okay? So this energy is speaking of you tapping into your inner niggle, your inner wiggle, tapping into your Akashic records. But being able to tap into your Akashic records takes for you to be part of the process of allowing the unlearning to occur. Stop the complaining, stop allowing these illusions that are outside of you and around you, making you feel like you are behind or you're in a rush. There's something about someone feeling like they are behind or they are in a rush, or maybe you're not satisfied at where you are. I said where you are, okay, in your life. But, this energy is here letting you know that there's information, there's resources available to you, and it's not hard to find. Okay? Heaven ain't hard to find. Okay? As the late great Tupac would say, heaven is not hard to find. Okay? It's a frame of mind. It's a frame of thought. It's a paradigm. Okay? Spiritually speaking, that dimension is not hard to find. It is not hard to tap into and obtain the resources that you are looking for, the information you're looking for, the connections you're looking for. But you have to stop creating distractions. It's like self-inflicted distractions. As much as we speak about being distracted by things outside of us, things in the media, certain music, movies, friends, family, many things can be distractions. Negative thinking, pity thinking, woe is me, they did this to me, and talking about what you can't do. You have to remain optimistic and see that cup half full all the time. All the time. Okay, so the information is here. Seshat's divine scripts is saying the information is here, the knowledge is here, the resources, whatever it is you're looking for. And it's different for everyone watching. It is present, and it's like your spirit guide's like, hey, It's over here. It's, hey, they're trying to get your attention. So you have to be able to accept constructive criticism. You have to not be so focused on the messenger, focus on the message. That's why I deliver my messages like this. It's not because I'm hiding my face, it's because I want to deliver the message. What I'm distributing here, this gift here is for me to give you the message. If I choose to show my face, I will when I feel like it. And if I don't, I won't. But I don't distribute the message because I'm hiding. I distribute my messages this way because this is what I want to do, and this is what I've been told to do. So those who need to hear the message can focus on the message and not the messenger. Okay? All right. So every now and then I may pop in and show my face, okay? But it's not about that. I don't know what nobody else do, and I ain't speaking on nobody else, but my channel here on Lady Noble's channel, it's not about that. Okay, this is about upliftment, enlightenment, intriguing you to find a spark within yourself so that you can pivot in your own direction, in your own timing that is best for you, not for me, for you. Okay. So that's what somebody needs to hear that. Okay, nobody's hiding, baby. I'm proud of who I am, all of me. All right. Okay. We have Noon's creation. The ram-headed God molds life and shapes destiny. Molds life and shapes destiny. So basically, these energies are letting you know 3 times. You're receiving confirmation. Let's go over it again. Nuts cosmic embrace, the sky goddess, okay, envelops and nurtures all life. So no matter who you are, there's energy here, there's a spirit here ready to support you, ready to give you guidance. There could be something that you want to do, and it happens, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. That, like I said, you may say, oh, it's my first time, or I want to apply to college, but I don't know how to do that. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Do you know there are people in the school and counselors who will help you fill out the papers? Okay, let's talk about it because these are real situations that goes on. These are real questions, the things that I bring up that people want to say, but they may not know how to say it. And that's nothing to be ashamed of because none of us know it all and none of us is perfect. But you could be someone who, I want to go to college, but I don't know where to start. There are people in the school who will help you with that. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and use your hecker and say, hey, I need help. I need guidance. I'm interested in so-and-so. Can you help me out? There are people in whatever school you're interested in. This is for someone who's listening to this, who will help you with that. Nobody's going to make fun of you. Nobody's going to laugh at you. They're going to be glad to help you and very nice. Sure. What you need? Can you come up here? I'll help you fill out that application, or I'll go with you to the library, whatever it is, because we all are at different levels in life. We don't know it all, okay? I'm still learning some things, okay, about technology, okay? It is new things are being invented and increasing every day. Okay? So that's nothing to be ashamed of. But there's an energy present here letting you know, hey, whatever your idea is for your life or your desire, I'm here to support you. But you won't know that until you take the step. You take one step, God will take another. Sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8. It all depends on who you are, where you are, and what your intentions are. Make sure your intentions are pure. When it comes to what you desire in your life, when it comes to what you choose to engage in or involve yourself in, okay? Then we have Noon's creation, okay? This is the second confirmation. The ram head God molds life and shapes destiny. So you may be having some concerns about where you are now, and maybe you're thinking about the future. Okay, long as you're not over exerting yourself, stressing, but you may have some concerns that are reasonable concerns. You do need to make plans for your future. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a spirit and an energy here saying, I'm here. I'm here. So if there's something that you need information on, maybe you're concerned about aging. Maybe you're concerned about your well-being, your health. Maybe you're looking for ways to save money or I call it a little nest egg. Okay, you're probably looking for ways like, hey, I need a way to put some money away for myself. It doesn't matter what your income is. A savings is a savings. There is no excuse. I don't care if you're putting $5 or $10 away. Guess what? It all adds up. It all builds what? Momentum. And that's all we need. God got the rest. God got the rest. So that's your second confirmation, okay? Then your third one, such as divine script, the goddess of writing, record keeping, preserves knowledge. So information that you may need resources. Maybe you're the first in your family. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you have the money. Now I'm talking to somebody who got the money, honey. And you're like, I got this money, but I want to invest it. But I'm interested in Bitcoin. Uh, People gatekeeping information on how to invest in Bitcoin. There are people out there who will help you. Legit, honest people. Make sure you do your research and check with the Better Business Bureau, the BBB. Okay. But there are people, who could possibly teach you and show you how to invest that money. That's for someone in particular. There's someone who's sitting on some money and they want to invest. And you're like, look, I got this. I want to invest it some kind of way, create some. And that is wonderful. Whatever questions you have, don't just ask anybody. Make sure you do a background check. But there are people who teach on Bitcoin and how to invest. There are books you can purchase. Okay, there's probably videos you can watch. I say tap into some of all of it, but don't just give your money to anybody, but do some research and learn about it. Okay? All right? So, whatever it is you are desiring, don't be afraid to speak up and ask for it. Okay? So, we went on from being not stop complaining. No more pity party. Stop complaining. When people say how we doing, we're gonna say wonderful and move on. If we're concerned or stressed, we're gonna pray about it and move on. Okay? Because we know and trust that our ancestors and we know that the Creator, Holy Spirit, Most High White Light got our back, and we know we're expecting a positive outcome. We're staying in the energy of optimism. Basically, you know what? That's what they're saying. No matter what you're facing, you have to stay in the energy of optimism. But once again, how do you do that? No pity party. No lack mentality thinking. Okay? Being grateful. Speaking up and asking questions. Don't feel, give me a second. Give me a second here. People often feel if they notice or they are around someone who they feel has more than them, they assume that that person may know everything. No, everybody is still learning. Everybody is still growing. You may know someone who's a judge or a doctor or a lawyer, but they'll even tell you they're still learning too. They even go back and forth to school to keep up with what's going on, new information, new medicines, new theories. Okay, the learning does not stop. So don't feel that you're not capable, like it's not possible for you to actually step out on faith and make the right decisions for your life. Don't feel that way, darling. Don't feel that way. It is possible for someone to come from nothing and turn it into something. It is possible for someone to have, not the best upbringing and maybe graduate college and become successful and get their PhD or their master's. It is possible to be happy and successful and have a nurturing relationship or marriage. It is possible to have children who all your children graduate college or be successful. And if it's not college, they're all, resilient and self-efficient and healthy and can take care of themselves. It does not matter about where you come from. That's for someone who needs to hear it. Don't be so stuck on that. Where you come from, your upbringing, you're from the hood, and the hood teaches you lessons. Okay. That's what I've learned. The hood teaches you survival tactics, skills, how to hustle, how to create. Yeah. Those are the positive things. When I think of the word hood or ghetto, I think of the positive things that the hood or the ghetto can teach you. Can teach you how to stay on your toes, how to budget your money. Real talk. Let's talk about it. How to be innovative when it comes to cooking and survival. And also can inspire you and influence you to want more out of life. So that's a way of seeing the light in a situation that good example of seeing the light in a situation that you may see as something negative or dark. It's all about your perception. You change your mind and you can change your life. So yes. Anubis scale, the weighing of the heart to determine one's fate in the afterlife. Once you transition. So you don't want to perish from planet Earth with the shoulda, woulda, coulda theory. I wonder where would I have been if I would have believed in myself. I wonder where I would have been if I would have not been so afraid to just ask for help. You don't want to grow older in age or perish from planet Earth and have that and have to come back and repeat the cycle because you have things, weighing you down, weighing your heart down. And I'm saying things that, come out of that fear. That's false evidence appearing real. Whatever it is you want in life, you better go for it. You better go for it and make it happen. There's no one who's going to root for you better than you. You are your first cheerleader, your last cheerleader. You are the one. You're the one, you're the one, you're the one. I don't know the rest. You're the one, you're the one. I think that's Rihanna. Yeah. So, yeah, speak up and express what is needed. Not in a complaining manner, but it's coming again. Somebody wants some information, and all they have to do is go to the resource. And hey, my name is so and so. This is what I'm looking for. Do you know somebody can help me? That's all. Mm-hmm. There's something about somebody wanting to invest in Bitcoin, but they feel like people are gatekeeping how to do it. So maybe you know someone who has been maybe bragging to you on how they invested and they're doing well, and you're like, shit, I got this, I got, you got some money on whoever you are, you sitting on that thing. Okay, don't tell nobody. Keep that to yourself. Because people look at it when they know you got money stat, period, like if you got it to give. No, this is for investment. So you feel someone, I'm picking up that someone who does invest in Bitcoin, and they've been very successful and they've had a lot of positive financial return. And maybe when you ask this person, they tell you have to learn on your wow. Well, learn on your own. They told you have to learn on your own, find your own way. Well, I wouldn't get mad at that. I would let that influence me to find my own way. Whether it's reading books, taking a class on it, looking at videos, I would find my own way. I wouldn't even get mad, and I wouldn't even tell them that I'm learning it either. I would go learn it, and I would invest, and I wouldn't tell nobody nothing. I'd just be learning it and reaping mines, okay? And I'll have me an apple today, and I'll have me an apple today. Yeah, don't let that discourage you. This could be someone in your family, okay? Maybe this is a cousin I'm picking up, or maybe they're like bragging or telling the family, I this. And you're like, well, shoot, I got some this. And they're like, well, you got to learn on your own. Okay. So you feel like they're gatekeeping. They're not gatekeeping information. No, they're not. It's available. Whatever you desire, collective, don't feel and think it has to come only one way through one person. What you're looking for, whether it's investing in Bitcoin, the stock market, buying a house, applying for college, maybe you want to apply for a grant. You feel people are gatekeeping the process of grant writing. Some people do gatekeep information. I know, but I wouldn't let that discourage me. I would move around that thing because spirit is all through this read saying you're not blocked, you're not oppressed. There's always more than one way to meet your goal. What do you think law is about? And no, I am not an attorney, but what do you think law is about? How do you think attorneys win cases? Because there are a lot of what? Loopholes. Swiss cheese, baby. Swiss cheese. There are a lot of loopholes. There's always more than one way to meet your goal. And I'm not talking about anything illegal, doing it the right way. But you have to be willing to go through the process of those loopholes. Your information doesn't have to come from your cousin showing you how to invest. Your friend doesn't have to show you how to grant right. That information can come from somewhere else. And it's not hidden. Spirit is saying what you think is hidden, and they may be trying to gatekeep it. That is public information. That's for somebody. What you think is being withheld from you, you're going to find out is public information, and someone's going to help you and show you just how easy it is. Yeah. You could be a first-time home buyer and you're ready. Maybe you've been approved for a loan. You've been approved for something. and you've been asking people information, and I don't know, they hunching, and these are people who own their houses now. They like, I don't know. You like, dang, auntie, you really, I don't know. Dang, uncle, you really, I don't know. And you saying, wait, they all own their homes. They can't give me no advice. Well, you don't have to get it from the family. You don't have to get it from a familiar circle. A lot of your blessings and your favors are going to come from outside the circle that knows you. Doesn't matter who you are or what kind of progress you are achieving in life. Your supporters and the information and resolution is going to come from outside of your familiar circle. It's not going to come from your familiar, who you're used to dealing with and talking to on a daily. And it's a reason for that, many reasons for that. A lot of times spirit wants us to, the world's a big old place. Why don't you get off the porch? But spirit wants us to take our energy and move our energy around and meet different people and try different avenues and communicate and learn different things, because we're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to experience. So feel free to ask questions and forget about feeling embarrassed. Who cares? Stop being a care bear about what somebody think about you. Collective, we have to stop that. There's nothing you can do to control how somebody feel about you. It's nothing you can do about that. So you got to stop being a care bear. And I know care bears are cute. I used to watch the cartoon too, and they still cute. But you got to stop being a care bear. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You cannot control what people are going to say or think about you. Simply live your life and make sure you get what's due to you. Okay? So this concludes the read. I hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.